Hello dear learners, today I welcome you for lesson 2 of chapter 2, that is kinematics. Here is the contact information. If you face any difficulty in today's lesson, you can contact me. Learning outcomes of today's lesson are that you should be able to distinguish between speed and velocity. You should be able to find average speed using this mathematical expression, that is total distance traveled divided by total time taken. The content which I am going to cover in today's lesson are speed, then average speed, velocity, and then there will be practice questions. Speed versus average speed. In this slide we will see that what is speed and what is average speed. So how would you find out the speed of two boys, Tim and Tom, in 3 kilometer race? So we have to find out speed here of two boys, that is Tim and Tom. Two boys are Tim and Tom, and race is of 3 kilometer distance. Suppose Tim covered 3 kilometer distance in 15 meters and Tom in 17 meters. So from the time you can see that Tim covered 3 kilometer distance earlier as compared to Tom. So how 2 minutes difference is there. Tim covered 2 minutes earlier this 3 kilometer distance as compared to Tom. So how you would be able to calculate speed here? So we know that speed is equal to distance traveled over time taken. So distance traveled is given to you, that is 3 kilometer, and how much time taken by Tim is 15 minutes and by Tom it is 17 minutes. So first we will calculate speed for Tim and then speed for Tom. So when we have to calculate speed for Tim, we will take 3 kilometer distance and divide it with this 15 minutes time, because this is the time for Tim which he has taken to cover this 3 kilometer distance. Here we have time in minutes and distance in kilometer. So what we have to do, we have to change this unit of time, that is minute, into hours. Because kilometer is the bigger unit, so we have to change the unit of other quantity also, that is time. We have to change this minute into hours, and I hope so that you know how to convert minute into hours. You know that 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds, and in 1 hour I have 60 minutes. So when I have to change minutes to hours, I have to divide the time with 60. So here I have 15-minute time. I will divide this 15 with 60, and whatever the result I will get, I hope so it is 0.25 hours. Then I will be dividing this distance 3 kilometer with 0.25 hours, and whatever the result will be, that will be speed of Tim in kilometer per hour. If you want to calculate the speed in meter per second, then you have to change this 3 kilometer distance into meter and time into seconds. Then you will be able to get speed in meter per second. Speed is the distance moved per unit time. So distance divided by time gives you speed. It is a scalar quantity. Suppose if you travel a distance of 280 kilometers from city A to city B in a car, will the speed remain same? So you have to think about this thing, that if you want to cover this much distance from one city to another city, will the speed remain same? No, speed varies. Might be possible there will be a lot of traffic. Might be possible the path is not the good one. There are some bumps on the road, bits and bumps on the road. So here we will be determining the average speed. So here we will determine the average speed. So to calculate average speed, you have to take the total distance traveled divided by total time taken. Assume that you have covered 280-kilometer distance in 3 hours. Then you are going to calculate average speed. Simply what you will do, you will take this 280-kilometer distance as total distance traveled and this 3 hours time as total time taken. You will be having average speed. For example, if the scenario is such that the units are not the same, like for kilometer the time should be in hours, then you have to see that what unit is given and what we have to do. So here speed versus average speed is given. If you see here, we have results for running event, and this running event was at Beijing Olympics 2011. I have three racers, that is Sean Kin, Chris and Ganguly, and they were having the event of 200-meter race. Sean Kin covered this distance in 9.69 seconds. Chris covered this distance in 10.3 seconds, and Ganguly covered this distance in 11.9 seconds. And distance is given here, time is given here, we have calculated the speed. So think, it will be a speed or average speed. Here is the question, that this speed is average speed or your simple speed. So you know that it is difficult to keep running for it is very difficult for the runner to keep running in the same speed. So it is not the speed, it is average speed. You can see here, average speed assumes that each runner travels at the same speed. Average speed assumes, we assume in average speed that each runner or each object which is traveling or moving is having the same speed throughout the entire distance. But in reality, the runners did not run at the same speed throughout their races. There is always a variation. For example, if I say you to go from one point to another, one day you go from one point to other point in 1 minute, and next day you go from same point to another point in 2 minutes. So there is a variation of speed. So that will be your average speed. Here is one more information that is related to instantaneous speed. The speed at one instant is different from the speed at another instant. So that speed which is at one instant, it is known as instantaneous speed. If you see here, the speed of an object at particular instant, for one instant, that is known as instantaneous speed. For example, if you have 3 points A to B, then B to C. So one instant is A to B and other instant is from B to C. So from A to B the speed is going to vary. Similarly, B to C the speed is going to vary. So for A to B, whatever the speed is, that is known as instantaneous speed, because we have this one particular instant for that object, that is known as instantaneous speed. So here you can see that speed versus velocity. When we go for velocity, before that we have to think that what is the difference between speed and velocity. Speed is simply how fast you are traveling. In this, we are not going to consider that in which direction we are moving. So see here, this car is traveling at a speed of 20 meters per second. But in velocity, speed in a given direction, that how much fast we are going to in one direction. Suppose this car is traveling at a velocity of 20 meters per second east. So here in velocity we have to include the direction. Let's see velocity. When we state the speed of the object, when we state the speed of the object and the direction, means speed and direction in which it is traveling is known as velocity. For example, car moves from A to B with the velocity 15 meter per second towards east. So it is velocity because speed is there, that is 15 meter per second. Direction is there, so it will be a velocity. Velocity is the rate of change of displacement. And what is displacement? We say that the distance covered in a straight line or shortest distance covered in a straight line. So here whenever we are going to calculate the velocity, it will always be in a straight line or in a particular direction. So its SI unit is also a meter per second as we have for speed, but it is a vector quantity. Why? Because here we have direction. So note down this thing that an object moves at a constant velocity when it moves at constant speed in one direction. Mean to say, if direction is not changing, speed is not changing, then the object is moving with constant velocity. If direction is changing but speed is not changing, then object is no longer at constant velocity. See here, the object is no longer at a constant velocity when it changes direction without changing its speed. Means speed is not changing but direction is changing, then it will be called as non-constant velocity. Or in other words, you can say if speed is changing, for example, it is sometime 15 meter per second, then 16, 17, 14, speed is changing but direction is not changing. You are moving in the direction of east, so it is also known as non-constant velocity. So here is the example. A car that travels 5 kilometers due east, means here we have a starting point. I denoted it with S, and car is standing here. It travels some distance of 5 kilometers due east. East is in this direction. Then makes a U-turn. Here is a U-turn and travel another 7 kilometers in this direction. If the time taken for the whole journey is 0.2 or time is given, see 0.2 or calculate the average speed. So what we do for average speed, total distance divided by total time. Total time is 0.2 or for this journey, and total distance you can calculate here 5 this distance, then a turn, then 7 kilometer this distance. Simply add these two distances, you will be having total distance and you will be able to calculate average speed. In B part, you have to calculate average velocity of the car. So first it is moving in this direction and then there was a turn. You have to calculate here displacement. So you have to take the difference, 5 minus 7, you will get displacement, divided with total time, you will be having average speed. See the solution now. Total distance traveled, that is 5 plus 7, it is here. Total time is already given to you, that is 0.2, or simply take the ratio and it will be 60 kilometer per hour. Because distance is in kilometer, time will be in hour, so that's why it is kilometer per hour. Velocity, you have to take the displacement first, total displacement, then time is given to you, just take the ratio and you will be getting velocity, that is minus 10 kilometer per hour. It is also known as average velocity of the car. I hope so it is clear to you. Here are two questions, practice questions for you. Chris runs the 400-meter race towards east. So there was a race and Chris runs 400-meter race towards east in 49.5 seconds. Time is given you in seconds. Distance is in meter. What was his average velocity. So here you have to calculate the average velocity because distance is given to you, but along with this distance direction is also given. So this is your displacement, time is given to you, apply the mathematical expression of average velocity, you will be able to calculate this. Question 2. Nina's average speed as she drove to the store was 12 miles per hour. Speed, average speed is given to you, that is 12 miles per hour. Lots of traffic, there was lot of traffic, it took her 20 minutes to reach the store, time is also given in minutes. So here what you have to do, you have to change this time into hours because here we have speed in miles per hour. So how much distance did she travel? So simply apply the relationship of mathematical relationship of average speed, that is average speed is equal to distance traveled divided by total time taken. So time is given to you, but before using this time you have to convert this into hours. What you will do, 20 divided by 60 gives you time in hours. Then you simply apply these values in the formula, you will get distance here in miles because this hour will get cancelled out with this hour of the speed, and only we will be left with miles. So the distance whatever you calculate here will be in miles. Thank you so much. If you have any question regarding today's lesson, you can drop your question in the comment section or you can send your question to me on my contact information. Do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the like button. Thank you.